Hey, good afternoon. This is Mike Sasser, and welcome to the Health Hour. Coming to you right here live downtown Conroe. You know, we've had quite a few beautiful Wednesdays, but today turned out to be quite rainy. I'd heard somewhere down the line we had about 3 inches of rain today so far. So if you're out and about, or you are going to be out and about, please be careful and be safe out there on the roads, and give yourself a little extra time, the commutes and things, and don't drive in any of the deep water. If water's going across the road, what's the saying? Don't drown, turn around, or turn around, don't drown, I believe it is. So keep that in mind. But anyway, welcome to another edition of the Health Hour, and we're right here on Lone Star Internet Radio. And I'd like to say that it's an hour of health news you can use. So if you'd like to be a part of the show today, you can call in at 936-647-3776, or you go to my website, www.mikesasser.com. Got a page there. It says Contact Mike. If you click on that, you'll find my email address. You'll find my Facebook link. You'll find my Twitter link. And so tweet me your questions, your comments, or Facebook me, as they say, and join the conversation. So let me tell you a little bit about what we have on the show today. And first, I'm going to talk a little bit about weight loss and the importance of keeping a journal or tracker. Basically keeping up with what you're eating, drinking, and stuff like that. Because tell you about myself before we go through the other segments there. I wrote about a year and a half ago. I wrote a book. It's name of it is Simple, Inexpensive, and Painless Weight Loss, and it's my true story. It's I like to say that I did it and you can do it. And one of the important parts of that book is I tracked everything that I ate, everything that I drank, and the activities I did for about 60 days. And it really made the difference when I began to look at what I was eating, look at the activities I was doing, and it really helped me out. So I find it very important, and I wanted to pass that along to you. So that's what we're going to talk about here this first segment. And then we have a very special guest in the studio. It's going to be kind of cool. I'll tell you what, we were talking a while back, and I'll introduce her here in a little bit. Okay, I'm going to keep you on suspense there. But basically, we were talking about yoga and the benefits of yoga, and just there's some really cool stuff. I mean, I really didn't know much about it. Learned a lot in our first conversation, and I tell you, got a lot more to learn today. So we're going to be talking to my very special guest, and like I said, I'm going to hold off introducing her till we get to her there. But we're going to talk about yoga and the benefits of yoga, and then we'll come back in the fourth segment there, and I'm going to wrap it up with our weekly grocery ads. And this is this is Wednesday. This is when the most grocery stores put out their ads for the upcoming week. And we'll look at some healthy choices and see what they've got listed in their ads for this week. So that is what we've got going on today. And by the way, we are live. If you do want to catch the podcast, we now have 4 shows, I believe, on podcast. Just go to www.irlongstar.com, and that's the radio station here, and archive the shows, and they've got a lot of other great shows there too. You can listen anytime that you would like to listen to them. So, with further ado, let me talk a little bit about keeping a food journal and the importance of it. Basically, you can write these down, in your own handwriting. You can put them in a Word document. If you're very good with Excel or anything, Excel is a great place to build one of these things. But it's nothing more than keeping up with what you're eating, the activities you're doing, and I'll share with you what I have in my book here. And basically, the what I kept up with is the meals that I ate, and this includes breakfast. It includes like a morning snack, if you will, lunch, a afternoon snack, and then dinner. So first off, I have to tell you, if you're trying to lose weight, the worst thing you can do is starve yourself. Do not think that I'm just not going to eat anything and lose weight. Well, you may, but it's not sustainable. It's not healthy. It's not good for you. So now what you eat and the types of activities you do is, those things are going to help you out. But do not think that I'm going to starve myself and lose weight and be successsul, because you're not. I tried it all my life, all on and off. I've did all kind of diets and fad diets and all that kind of stuff like everybody else out there, and it just doesn't work. As soon as I got hungry or craved what I wanted to eat, then guess what? I ate, and the weight came back on. So this system in my book, though, basically has been the only thing that has worked for me, and it's pretty simple, definitely inexpensive. But getting back to the tracker, so I keep up with the meals that I eat through the day. I keep up with the activities. And by the way, my main activity was walking in the park. That's literally all I did, and that's all I still do today. I mean, maybe 3-4 times a week, I'll go and spend 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and I'll walk in the park. I might count the laps that I do, or I might just, look at my watch. Quite honestly, I don't have one of these fancy gadgets that you wear on your wrist that keeps up with all your steps and all of that. But however, on my phone, my cell phone, I have an app. It came on the phone, so it was free to me, and it does do all of that type of stuff and everything. So anyway, getting back to keeping up with your tracker. Keep up with the meals that you eat. Keep up with the activities that you do. And this is something that I did that may be a little different from a lot of the other journals out there, but I'm social. I go out every now and then. I like a crawfish boil and maybe a cold beer here and there. So I kept up with any type of alcoholic beverages that I drink or anything like that, because they are a source of sugar. They are, it might not be what you're eating that is keeping you from losing weight. Maybe what you're drinking that's keeping you from losing weight. So I kept up with the my alcohol intake. Now that doesn't mean that I had alcohol every day. It doesn't mean that I ate or drank all the time, or I'm an alcoholic by no means. But anyway, it's just it's a source of sugar, and I wanted to keep up with that because sugar is in our diet so much nowadays, in our foods, in a lot of our juices that we drink. These sports drinks. You just read the labels and you start just pay attention to the sugar in food and beverages today. And if you make one change and start cutting back on your sugar intake, you're going to see a difference over time as far as weight loss. So that is what I kept up with, and I did this for 60 days. And I'll tell you why. Because you begin to see what you're eating, you begin to see what you're drinking, and you begin to see the results. If you're eating badly and you're going out and having 2 or 3 margaritas after work, 3 or 4 times a week, and you're going to see those consequences. And basically, you begin to associate those consequences. Consequence association. You go out and have that big meal and everything, and then that next day you weigh on a scale. And by the way, I weighed in every day. Now, I've seen some studies that say it's not good, or they don't really recommend that you weigh in every day. But I checked myself every day because that way I could see, if I did go out and eat bad, then I can see that, that again, that consequence is right there, looking at me and staring at me in the eye, and so I can make adjustments along the way. The other thing is once you start losing weight and you have this tracker, you have this this journal, this food journal. Well, when you see what starts working for you and you see what's helping you lose weight, then you just kind of go back and you can kind of repeat that. Maybe not so much have the same foods, but you can have the same portion sizes or the same types of foods, stay in the same food groups, if you will. And you begin to build a blueprint for your success in weight loss. Now, one other thing I want to throw in there is that let's say that you don't drink alcohol whatsoever, and that's great. Not everybody does. You may want to, but you may want to track your sodas. If you like canned soda and you're drinking 2 or 3 of those a day, start tracking those. And because again, that 1 can of soda can have an entire day's worth of sugar just right there. So, you drink one can of soda, and you've already had your day's worth of sugar. Okay. If nothing else, you might want to if you eat out a lot, you might want to track the amount of money that you're spending on eating out, because you will be amazed at how much that adds up. You think about it. $5, $8 for lunch, 4 days a week or whatever, $32 a week. It adds up big time. So those are just some ways that a tracker or food journal can help you in your weight loss journey, as well as help you maybe save some money. So just a couple of good things there. And like I said, all of this is in my book. It's called Simple, Inexpensive, and Painless Weight Loss. And the book is on Amazon. It's on Barnes & Noble's websites. Here locally, it's also at Hastings on Highway 105 here in Conroe, a little place called the Book Exchange on 1097 in Willis. And so go by and check it out, and a lot of other good information in there. So I think we're coming up close to our first break here. Dick's giving me that sign. So we're gonna get out of here and pay a few bills, and then when we come back, we've got our special guest. So come on back.
SPCA PetSnap of Montgomery County is a 501c3 all-volunteer-based rescue and adoption organization with a no-kill policy for healthy and adoptable animals. Our goals are fourfold: to rescue and rehabilitate homeless animals, to provide a safe haven for the animals until a suitable adoption or foster care home is found or until they are reunited with their owner, to educate the public about the great need to reduce pet population, which includes the importance of having their pets spayed and neutered, and to further the cause for humane and responsible pet ownership, and to provide a low-cost spay-neuter clinic for people who are unable to afford to spay or neuter their pets otherwise. SPCA PetSnap of Montgomery County encourages you to think adoption first. You can contact us at www.spcaofmc.com.
Hi, this is BJ Orner from Montgomery County Performing Arts Society. I'm here to remind you to get your tickets now for all the upcoming events that McPass has to offer. All shows will be held at the beautiful Crichton Theater in downtown Conroe. Call 936-441-7469 for your tickets today, or go to our website, www.mcpass.org, for more information. Hope to see you at the show.
Tune in to Chamber Chat with your host, Courtney Galley and Samantha Good, with the Conroe, Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce, every first Tuesday of the month at 11 a.m. I'm one of your hosts, Courtney Galley. Samantha and I will chat about the Conroe Chamber's upcoming events and programs for the month. Relax with a cup of joe or your favorite drink for Chamber Chat.
I'm Lieutenant Bob Berry with the Conroe Police Department, reminding you that drinking and driving do not mix. Drinking and driving causes an alcohol-related fatality every hour in the United States. Stay sober and stay alive.
Hey, welcome back to the Health Hour with Mike Sasser, and I am Mike Sasser, your host for an hour of health news you can use. And I tell you what, I am super excited because I have my very special guest here today, and her name is Lori
Yancura.
Yancura. Okay, there we go. All right, Lori Yancura. I'm sorry, Lori. I'm terrible about that. How about this? I can pronounce this. Yoga Lori.
That works too.
All right. Lori is here today, and she is going to tell us about the benefits and just a lot of really cool things about yoga. She works at the Woodlands Yoga Studios. There in the Woodlands. And I tell you, I checked this out online. They're at www.thewoodlandsyogastudio.com. And it looks like a great, nice studio, by the way, Lori.
Thank you.
Welcome, you're welcome. So I tell you what, let's just start out. Tell us a little bit about Lori, Yoga Lori. Tell us a little bit about Yoga Lori, and then we'll kind of jump into some of the stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Hi. Thank you for having me, Mike. I was looking for something to do that, something physical, but I didn't really want to go back to the gym. I didn't want to build the bulk. I'm not a runner. And I kept hearing about yoga. And so I got a little Groupon thing, and I remember I was smoking. I smoked for decades.
All right.
I
not
totally
good for you.
Out of shape. Totally not good for you, considering yoga's a lot about breathing. And so I no longer smoke, of course.
Great. That's good.
Yeah. So that's the benefit. But I had 8 classes, and I was so out of shape, and it was very difficult. And at the time, my boss, Barbara, said, Lori, just stick with it, do the 8, then make the decision. Well, by that time, I really started to feel better.
Yeah.
I started to enjoy the classes. I started to have more energy. I started to sleep better just in that very short time.
Really?
I did it within 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay, instead of stretching the 8 classes out, I just jumped right in and said, okay, let's do this.
Good.
And it that's where it all started, and here we are, years later, and
Excellent.
I love it, and it's so good, and there's just so many things I can tell you about it.
Well, good. I'm asking you some questions. How long is the class? You said you started with 8 classes, and you kind of just jumped into it. Are they like 30-minute classes, an hour classes? I mean, how does that work?
Okay, our classes last for an hour and 20 minutes. Now,
okay,
that is not all yoga poses. Okay, because you start by breathing.
Right.
Because breathing, the way that you breathe in through your nose and out through your nose, it helps settle or calm down your central nervous system.
Okay.
Okay, so you breathe in, breathe out a couple times, and then you do some warm-up poses, and then you get into the poses.
Right.
And at the very end, you cool down, and then you go into your relaxation, trying to meditate, trying to keep your mind clear. So that's about an hour and 20 minutes.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, I guess that's what kind of really interests me. The first time that I spoke to you about this was that I kind of thought yoga was just that, all relaxation, maybe some stretching and whatnot and stuff like that. But I didn't realize. But you were telling me that it does have a lot of benefits for like strength training and things like that. I mean, I've seen some of those poses before, and it's like, I don't know that I could do them. But,
no, you just don't walk in and start doing those poses.
Okay, all right.
Because you end up using muscles that you have not used in a very long time.
Right. Yeah.
And you get a more of awareness of your body.
Okay.
And you know what your strengths are and what they are not. Mm-hmm. When I first went in, I basically I had so much tension in my shoulders. My shoulders were basically up at my ears.
Wow.
And I didn't know how to relax.
Right.
And I didn't totally know that they were up to my ears.
Mm-hmm.
But coming to find out, so you learn that way. But some of the poses that you hold, as you get more advanced, you're on your hands a lot. You've got to build up your arms. Your shoulders get built up. You build up your core, your thighs, the muscles in your thighs.
Mm-hmm.
It is very physical, but it's not hard. Well, it's hard, but it's obtainable.
But like you say, you don't just jump right into those. You build up to those over some time, and then your body just gets a little stronger and a little stronger, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, it absolutely does. And actually, yoga originated in northern India over 5,000 years ago.
5,000 years.
Yeah, over 5,000 years ago. Some say it was longer, but the sacred text that they found was 5,000 years ago. But because some of them had been written on leaves and gotten crushed, and so,
wow.
But it was by a religious group, and they they started this whole thing, and they had their own language called Sanskrit.
Okay.
So when you go into a class, you're going to hear some words that say like chaturanga.
Okay.
That is a cobra pose.
Don't ask me to pronounce that one.
I won't. I've learned that about you, Mike. But each pose has a Sanskrit name.
Okay.
The original poses.
Interesting.
Yeah. So the ancient religious Indian group, they are the ones that really gave the birth to the literature and the technique of yoga. Then it was picked up by the Hindus and the Buddhists.
Okay.
Okay. So
now, to me, that sounds like that really kind of comes into the meditation part of it, I guess, or the relaxation part of it.
Well, I'll tell you, the meditation part, why they started doing this, really was for the beginning, the guys that were whatever you want to call them, the religious sect that was doing their meditation, they had to prepare their body and calm down their central nervous system for the stillness that was necessary to be able to sit and meditate. So they had to build some physical strength and stamina that would allow the mind to relax, calm.
Okay.
Just think about it. Have you ever tried to sit in even an Indian position with your back erect and just sit there, and you have these muscles that, gee, haven't been used forever? You're really going to feel it, and you're not going to be able to last long. Well, they would sit there and meditate for long periods of time.
Okay.
Because I will tell you, after that 2 weeks, I remember standing there, and because it builds not only the muscles on the limbs and the core, it also builds your muscles around your vital organs. We all have muscles there, holding them separate from each other.
Right.
And we don't use those. Why would we? How do we do that?
Right.
Well, in yoga, you really do.
Yeah.
So I remember just standing there, and I put my hand on my side, right by, between my ribs and my hip, and I flinched because my little muscles inside were, they were getting a workout.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and that helps you to build your core, get your posture up,
which is excellent for you. I mean, just posture alone has so many, health benefits there. But yeah,
it absolutely does. And I'll tell you, ladies, if you want to look a few pounds thinner, do some yoga and get your posture straight, because it will lift up, elongate your midsection, and with your shoulders back. It works.
Makes a big difference. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, that is interesting. Very. It reminds me almost of, and I've never taken karate, but from what I've been told, is that it's a little bit of like a discipline, if you will, kind of you.
Absolutely, it's
you're not just going in there and striking a pose or so much. I mean, there's some thought behind all of this, and some.
Well, there absolutely is, and because there's different types of yoga, right? But it's all about being mindful.
Okay.
Of your poses that you're doing. I mean, anybody can go out there and, flap their arms out and bend their knee forward, but do you have that alignment that goes with it? Is your body getting the most benefit?
Right.
Or are you just hanging out there? There's none of this stomach hanging out business. Tuck your bottom under. You got to use your core. It stretches your hamstrings. I mean, it's
a right way to do it.
There's an absolutely right way to do it, because if you just get out there and you don't do it correctly, you could potentially hurt yourself, depending on, condition of your body. Just how athletic you already are.
I'm going to share with you, and I shared this in my book, but that is one reason why I got away from the word exercise so much and put in my book activities, because I went through 4 or 5 gym memberships, and I would start a gym membership and be gun-ho and go in there, and next thing you know, I was just hurting and sore and all of this kind of stuff, and it just didn't work for me. This sounds a little more relaxing, a little more. I mean, Don't get me wrong.
You're going to hurt.
You're going to hurt a little bit.
You're going to feel it. I
Yeah.
mean, you're not going to hurt,
Yeah.
but you will feel sore a little bit.
But you do the stretches and everything too, and
Well, you do the stretches mostly at the end, and sometimes in between to counterbalance a pose that you have just done.
Okay.
Okay, so there definitely is a method to doing it, and the instructors, they put a class together all in the sequence that they're doing. One day could be hip openers, the other one could be shoulder openers.
Okay.
Just to get more flexibility in your shoulders, and then you can do. It makes it in with other poses, and you stretch. You have to stretch.
Right.
You warm up. You do your poses and you stretch, and then you relax in your little meditation.
Cool. Very good. I tell you what, very interesting. Got a lot more to talk about. I believe we're gonna take a little pause here. But Lori, thank you so much. And out there, if you're listening, come on back, and we'll talk a little bit more about yoga and the benefits. And hope to see you back.
The Conroe YMCA's benchmark adaptive programming for kids and adults is Leap of Faith. Leap of Faith is an equine-assisted therapy program serving children and adults with adaptive needs. The riders in our Leap of Faith program are working to address and manage specific aspects of their lives impacted by illness, injury, or disability. The Leap of Faith program has experience working with riders who are living with attention deficit or other hyperactivity disorders, hearing impairments, visual impairments, developmental delays or disabilities, autism, Down syndrome, multiple sclerosis, muscular dystrophy, head traumas, brain injuries, and paralysis. Our program uses horseback riding to develop self-confidence and self-esteem, to increase upper and lower body strength, assist in respiratory issues, and establish a trusting relationship between the rider and their horse. Not only do these activities aid in the physical and mental development of the rider, but they also foster self-reliance and independence. For more information regarding our program, to become a rider, or to volunteer with a great group of people, please call our Welcome Center at 936-441-9622 or visit our website at www.ymcahouston.org/Conroe.
You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio here on OurLoneStar.com, soon to be Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1 with the Health Hour with Mike Sasser. He will be up shortly after this. We're going to do some traffic and weather for the Montgomery County area, and we're going to start with traffic. Northbound I-45, you should be good to go until you hit 1488. There's been an accident being reported right before 1488 and between 242. I don't see any slowdowns, but expect something with all this rain. Other than that, northbound I-45 is good to go. Southbound I-45 is also good to go. Heading east to west on 1488, 105, and 242, I do not see any problems going all the way across the county. Weather-wise, 60 degrees outside, humidity is around 93%. We have light rain and fog all the way up till 6 p.m., and then we expect some flash floods. So please be careful on the roads and also when you get home. We have a high of around 74 and a low of 62. Coming up after the Health Hour with Mike Sasser will be the Michael Player Show with Michael Player. He has the gig guide today, so if you're looking for some live entertainment this weekend, stay tuned for the Michael Player Show because he covers all things exciting live music-wise in the Montgomery County area. We're going to get back to this break, but coming after that will be Mike Sasser back with the Health Hour.
Hey, this is Cindy Cochran, and now Conroe can boast of another first. The first morning live talk show, 10 to 11 a.m. Monday through Friday, right here on Lone Star Internet Radio, coming straight out of the fabulous downtown Conroe, Texas. Be the coolest guy at the water cooler, or the most informed break room dweller by listening to the fun side of the news, local, national, infinity, and beyond. The Cindy Cochran Show. You ain't heard nothing yet.
Hello, Montgomery County. I'm Rachel Baldwin with Special Olympics Texas, Area 6. Are you a fan of courage? Are you a fan of determination? Are you a fan of acceptance, grace, and skill? Then you're already a fan of Special Olympics. Make it official. Volunteer, coach, and or compete and be a fan of dignity and acceptance. The dedication of our Special Olympics Texas volunteers provides mainstreaming experiences for athletes with intellectual disabilities. You will touch the heart of another person, and it will move you in a meaningful way that lifts the spirit. Please visit the Heart of East Texas Area 6 webpage at www.sotx.org. Also, like us on Facebook to be a fan and be part of Special Olympics Texas.
Are you interested in learning more about preparing quick, healthy, and safe meals for your family? Would you like to spend time with others learning tips and tricks, along with practicing and tasting nutritious food? If so, the On the Road to Healthy Living Mobile Cooking School is for you. Call Amy Ressler at Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service at 936-539-7825 to find a class near you or volunteer to host a class.
Hey, welcome back to the Health Hour with Mike Sasser. I am Mike Sasser, your host, and you're listening to Lone Star Internet Radio. This is community radio for Montgomery County and all surrounding areas. We're internet, and I've actually had people listen to us in Louisiana, and I guess that's the cool thing is you can listen to us on your cell phone, your mobile device as they call it nowadays, and if you happen to miss the live show, you can always go to www.irlongstar.com and pick up the podcast of this show and many other good shows that's played on the radio station here. So we are in the live show today, and I am very honored to have a guest, Lori Yancura. Hey, all right, yay, I did it.
Yay.
Also known as Yoga Lori, and she is from the Woodlands Yoga Studio in the Woodlands, Texas here, and we are talking about the benefits and of yoga, and just I tell you, I'm learning a lot, and something that I haven't done, but I might just want to check this out sometime. So Lori, welcome, and
thank you.
We covered quite a bit there, but I wanted to ask you about, and I noticed this on the website there at the Woodlands Yoga Studio website. There's some different types of yoga that's listed and stuff. Can you tell us a little bit about about the different types and maybe what they how they work, I guess.
Sure, absolutely. There are several different types of yoga.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we do not teach all of them at our studio. Some are more specific to others.
Right.
But just to kind of give you an idea, there's Hatha yoga, Hatha. That was the very first type of yoga that they used for the vehicle for meditation. And as I discussed, to build strength and stamina.
Now that goes back and we talked we talked in the last segment about yoga's been around about 5,000 years.
Yep.
That's almost as long as I've been around. So yeah.
Well, okay, not me. But and then there came Ashtanga.
Okay.
Ashtanga is very physical. Okay, it's very physical, and it keeps moving. It doesn't stop.
Okay.
And what it does is it helps build this internal heat.
Yes.
And it's designed to purify the body through a sequence of poses.
Okay.
And you just go through, and I'll tell you what, you will absolutely get that full body workout on that one.
Sounds like that would burn calories as well. I mean, anytime you're in motion, you're burning calories. Is what I is what I put in my book.
Oh yes, you will. Yes, because it's pretty intense.
Okay.
It's pretty intense. I will say that.
Yeah.
Then another one that we do at our studio, one of the types is Vinyasa Flow, FLO, Vinyasa Flow. And that's more of just flowing from posture to posture, depending on what the teacher, chooses to do.
Okay.
Like some of them, you can just, you get in a pose, you work at it, and you stop, and then they'll show us how to do them, and then we do the sequence of the flow.
Okay.
Okay.
So you kind of move from one to the other. You kind of maybe hold it for just a little bit, and then you kind of start moving into the other one.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then we have the Bikram, which is more commonly known as hot yoga.
Hot yoga. Okay.
Hot yoga.
I'll go for that one.
Yeah, let me know how that is. That one will definitely burn some calories.
Okay.
And it helps with flexibility as well because, the temperature in the room is anywhere between 85 and 105 degrees.
So you're kind of getting your sweat on then, basically.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And with that Bikram, you do a series of the same poses. Every class is the same. It does not change.
Okay.
Okay, just does not change.
Huh.
Yeah. And then the other one, there's many, but Iyengar yoga.
Iyengar, okay.
Yeah, Iyengar, actually, sorry. He developed these poses, and it was for alignment, okay? But it had to be very, very exact.
Okay.
Okay, very, very exact. So, and then you would hold it. What we do, just like Vinyasa flow, we kind of mix it's Anusara yoga,
okay,
which is a mixture of Iyengar and the Vinyasa flow.
Now let me ask Lori, when you're talking about alignment, or are we talking about kind of like your spine, your back alignment?
Yes.
Or are we talking about more about the alignment in the pose itself that you're holding?
It's the entire pose from your fingertips all the way down to your feet.
Okay.
And so if you're doing, say, a side ankle pose, where your knees bent and your arms down, you want to be able to take your hand, reach it over the top of your head, and it can be like just, let's take, say, a broomstick.
Okay.
They could just put it along you, and it would be perfectly aligned.
Wow, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So there's that, and we do the flows as well that go with it. It's a much softer version of the Iyengar.
Okay.
Okay, so that works very well. We're incredibly happy to say that we're very busy at the studio.
Good.
Yeah, it's we have something for everybody. 100%. Anybody can do it. Doesn't matter how old you are, or if you think you are not in good shape. I mean, I have to tell you, I go to these classes and I see men and women that in their late 60s that just started doing this, say, a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
They motivate me.
Really? Yeah.
They absolutely motivate me. And as I sit there and I watch them and see how they progress, they have more mobility. They move easier. The more flexibility.
That is great. That is awesome. I guess that was one of the questions that I had was, for someone out there that is a beginner that has never been, let's say like myself, what do you recommend? What do you what would be the starting place to get into yoga?
Well, that really depends if you are in physically good shape.
Okay.
So
do you maybe go through like a little assessment type thing? Because of all those times I joined the gym, they'd put me through a physical assessment, which usually didn't turn out too well. But they would do that before they ever turned me loose in the gym. And so, do you kind of take an assessment of somebody's physical condition before they get started, or
not to the extent of how they do it at a gym per se? But you do have to fill out, answer questions. Have you had any injuries? Have you had anything going on with your knee or your shoulder? Or, what works best? Are you a runner?
Right.
Runners have weightlifters, they have incredibly tight hamstrings. And, but they're used to doing physical stuff. So that beginner class or a basic class would be excellent for them.
Okay.
If you have somebody that comes in who's 65 years old and they've just had a hip replacement, 6 months ago, you absolutely want them in a gentle.
Right. Yeah, I would think kind of ease in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, I mean, if you want to take it gentle, just to do a little bit of stretching, more just like you were thinking yoga is. Yes, there is a form of that. It is very gentle.
Right.
We have seniors yoga. It is booked. The room is they're amazing.
I'm just glad that they that they get out at that age. I mean, I'm looking forward that when I get old that to be involved in something like that, because it's not only the activity and the yoga, but the community and
absolute
being around
sense
other
of community,
being active, I guess, is what I'm trying to get to. Yeah.
Yes, and very much so. We have a class for cancer survivors.
Okay.
Also, nobody's to wear perfume in there because we have people that have survived cancer from all ages and all the different classes.
Right.
So it just helps people that are recovering from an injury. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just so many different things. But we do offer a variety of classes 7 days a week.
Okay.
Check us out, thewoodlandyogastudio.com. See what works for you.
I'll tell you what, this is all very interesting, and I certainly appreciate you coming down on this rainy day.
Oh, my pleasure.
We've had all these beautiful days, Wednesdays that we do these shows, but it's it's been a pleasure talking with you, Lori, and I've learned a lot. I hope that you guys out there listening have learned a lot, and if you have any questions, by the way, again, you can certainly contact the yoga studio, the Woodlands Yoga Studio. You can contact me on my website, www.mikesasser.com. You can click on Contact Mike, check out my email address, my Facebook, my Twitter. You send a question to me, and I'll definitely get it to Lori. Lori, thank you so much. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the grocery store ads. What are they having on sale this week? So come on back.
SPCA PetSnap of Montgomery County is a 501c3 all-volunteer-based rescue and adoption organization with a no-kill policy for healthy and adoptable animals. Our goals are fourfold: to rescue and rehabilitate homeless animals, to provide a safe haven for the animals until a suitable adoption or foster care home is found or until they are reunited with their owner, to educate the public about the great need to reduce pet population, which includes the importance of having their pets spayed and neutered, and to further the cause for humane and responsible pet ownership, and to provide a low-cost spay-neuter clinic for people who are unable to afford to spay or neuter their pets otherwise. SPCA PetSnap of Montgomery County encourages you to think adoption first. You can contact us at www.spcaofmc.com.
Doing business since 1985, Assistance League of Montgomery County is a nonprofit, all-volunteer organization where all proceeds stay in Montgomery County. We are proud to sponsor 10 philanthropic programs that enhance the lives of those in our community. Visit our thrift shop at 126 North San Jacinto Street in downtown Conroe, or call us at 936-760-1151. Don't forget to like us on Facebook.
Hello, I'm Bonita DeRosa, Animal Control Officer for the City of Willis. We invite you to tune in to Lone Star Internet Radio every first and third Thursday of the month at 11 a.m. for the Willis Hour. On the first Thursday of the month, the Willis Hour will be covering upcoming events and news about the city. Join in the conversation with your city officials and other leaders in the community. On the third, we will be doing a recap of the last City Council meeting. The mission of the City of Willis is to provide high-quality services, accountability, and professional commitment to our citizens. We pledge to provide those who live, work, and visit our city an effective government that is open and responsive to the needs and values of the community. Again, we invite you to tune in on Lone Star Internet Radio every first and third Thursday of the month at 11 for the Willis Hour.
At Jazzy Junk, volunteers reclaim, restore, and recycle. Jazzy Junk is a non-profit resale storefront where you will discover wonderful, unique finds at very affordable prices on furniture, antiques, books, art, home decor, and more. When you shop Jazzy Junk, you support New Danville, a community for adults with developmental disabilities. We receive new donations daily, so plan a visit to Jazzy Junk today to find that perfect item or gift. Our motto is here today, gone today, so remember to hurry in and shop often for the best selection. Jazzy Junk is located in the outlets at Conroe on Lake Conroe Road and I-45 North. Call 936-441-4500 or visit our website, jazzyjunk.org, that's Junque, for more information and store hours.
Have a legal question? Are you a resident of Montgomery County? Call 281-645-6344 to talk to a volunteer attorney from the Woodlands Bar Association. We answer the phones on the first Monday of every month at 281-645-6344 from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. to provide general legal information and information about legal resources to Montgomery County residents.
Hey, welcome back to the Health Hour with Mike Sasser. And tell you what, we are coming to you live from downtown Conroe and Lone Star Internet Radio. If you'd like to check out our podcast, I've got several shows now that are archived. Go to www.irlongstar.com. And you can look it up either by past shows, usually down on the bottom of the screen, or you can look up, just type in a search on the page Health Hour, and that'll pop up and everything. Or you can just search Mike Sasser, and I believe it'll pop up as well. So anyway, we do this every Wednesday, and it's a live show. Had a great guest here, Lori, Yoga Lori, talking about yoga and all the cool things about it. And so if you miss that and you're just tuning in, by all means, go and check out our podcast. Just to remind you, you can call in and be a part of the show. That call-in number is 936-647-3776. You can always go to my website, mikesasser.com, and contact me on my Contact Mike page. You can get me by Facebook, email, or Twitter. Have all of those accounts on there, all in one place. You just click the links. And by the way, I do have a book out. I guess that's kind of how this show came about. But my book is simple, inexpensive, and painless weight loss. It's my true story of how I lost weight and have kept it off for over a year and a half now. And I like to say that I did it, and you can do it. It's not really a diet book. It's a true story. It's written more in a story format than it is restricting diets and restricting food groups and all of that type of stuff. So pretty cool. Check it out. You can Google it. You can find it on my website. It's on Amazon or anywhere else. So what I'd like to do is kind of wrap up the show today with what we call grocery store ads. And basically today I'm featuring H-E-B. I've pulled up their ad. You can find these online. When you walk in the grocery store, they usually have their the printed ads right up at the front part of the store. They do come out on Wednesdays, and they're good for a week most of the time. But let's take a look, and when you pull it up online, you can actually click on whether if you want to look at produce or if you want to look at the meat market, just general or seasonal type items. You can kind of, I guess, sort what you're looking for, and by the way, that reminds me too, or I should remind you. When you go to the grocery store, make yourself a grocery list, and it really does help. Number one, keep you on track, and helps you save a little money along the way too. So I've got HEB's ad that they just came out with today pulled up, and what I love about this time of year, it's it's springtime. There's a lot of produce coming into season, and it's a lot of good healthy items out there for you, and things like red plums and black plums. They're on sale at HEB this week, as well as large grapefruit. And speaking of grapefruit, I had a lot of grapefruit in my book. I did a lot of research. By the way, I spent about probably 4 months or so, maybe even a little longer, and practically all I did was research nutrition values, and you can do the same. Educate yourself on just about any kind of food. You can literally put nutrition value of grapefruit in Google, and boom, it'll come up. It'll have the nutrition label there. It'll tell you the sugar content, and we're talking about a natural sugar, but it's still sugar. You still need to be aware of the amount of sugar that you're taking in. But there's just so much information now out there on the internet that you can really educate yourself and get yourself in better health. I really believe that food is a key to better health, and just making life overall healthier, along with yoga. So looking on down, we have some navel oranges, great sources of vitamin C. Avocados, omega-3s, the avocado is very, very versatile fruit. I love it. Sliced avocado on sandwiches. I mix it into different things. I've even put it on eggs before. So you're getting your protein, you're getting your omega-3s. Avocados are just it's a good fruit. It's a little heavy on the calorie content. So you wouldn't want to eat a whole bag of them in one day, but again, they have a lot of health benefits that you can you can Google, you can look up and see online there. Mini carrots. Let me tell you, if you have a jar of M&Ms or cookies, sitting around out, on a counter, it's an easy go-to convenience for you. But it may not be so healthy. So here's a little trick that I do. I love to get these little bags, these mini carrots, and I'll put them in a Tupperware bowl or whatever, and I'll put this stuff in the very front part of my refrigerator, so that when I open my refrigerator, they're there, they're convenient. And so rather than grabbing a Snickers bar or a handful of M&Ms, I've got these carrots that are there and they're convenient. You can do that with a lot of good fruits and vegetables. By the way, watermelon. You can get watermelon just about year round, but it's really starting to come in season now. Get you a good seedless watermelon, and cube it up. Kind of chop it up a little bit. Again, put it in a Tupperware bowl or a plastic container. Make things convenient for you. Make healthy food convenient, and you're more than likely to eat it. I don't have a whole lot of cookies and things like that in my house. So if you want to learn more about that type of stuff and the things you can pick up in the grocery store on the weekly ads, so much is on the internet. But in my book, Simple, Inexpensive, and Painless Weight Loss, you can learn a lot more, and you can tune in to this radio station, Lone Star Internet Radio, every Wednesday at 1 o'clock, and we do this little thing called the Health Hour with Mike Sasser, and that's what I'm here for, to pass along some hopefully some helpful information to keep you and your family healthy and safe out there. So looks like we're getting ready to wrap up the show today, and I really appreciate you listening in. Again, if you have missed it, catch our podcast, and we'll be back here next Wednesday to do another show. Lori, I want to thank you very much for being in the studio with me today, and enjoyed the conversation on yoga, and I'm going to try it, I promise. So got to get out of here today, so y'all guys be safe out there, and have a great rest of the week.